Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D, coming to you with another live session. The beauty of this, what I do here is it's streamed to LinkedIn, but it's also streamed to Facebook, YouTube, and a variety of other media outlets that I have. So I get a chance to impact a lot of folk on the different social media outlets. But today, what I want to do is take a few moments and talk about this. The importance, in particular during this pandemic, and we've been training quite a bit on this with the customers throughout the country, is the importance of self-care. Now, again, I know there's a lot of information out there about this. Good afternoon, Facebook user. I don't know your name. It just says Facebook user. Good afternoon. and good afternoon to you. And I think it may be somebody I know. I'm not sure. But anyway, but I just this is a topic we talked about a little earlier. We have a bi-weekly now workforce development group that we work with. And we get together and talk about best practices for professionals in workforce development. And but I thought it's something that I just wanted to bring to other people's attention, on LinkedIn and all the different other media outlets that I interact with. But this subject is really important because we live in a day and age now where the world around us has changed. One thing we talked about a little earlier in our webinar, we're talking to workforce development professionals, is the importance of understanding that a lot of people are trying to, they're looking for when things go back to what they were. And what we were clear on sharing and articulating with everyone is it may not go back to where it was, ever, ever. And to be quite honest with you, I think it's somewhat unhealthy to have that expectation. And let me tell you what I mean by that, because if I'm depending upon everything going back to normal, if it doesn't, that's going to cause me a high level of anxiety and a high level of stress. But if I understand the importance of under the times that we're in, you know what I mean? The significance of the fact that change happens, and as a leader, I need to be embraced this. That gives me a different perspective if it does not go back to the way it used to be. And I'm the kind of person, maybe I'm overly exuberant and a little bit on the edgy side when it comes to the way I think, but I'm the kind of person, I'm ready for the change. I like new normals because we get in these ruts and these routines of doing certain things the same way over and over again. And so we never get a chance to experience the newness of life, the newness of evolving in our careers or evolving in our whatever it may be. And so Dr. Jones, it's good to see that you're on, man. Good to see you here with us as well. And you know about this stuff and the work that you do, man. Seriously. And so what I want to do is just kind of give a few things for people to think about when it comes to self-care, because self-care can be almost a full day training, because there's so many aspects and facets to it. But one thing we had everybody in the session we did a little earlier type in the chat feature of our session was, I like me. A few people actually said, I love me. And I had them put that in there because one of the foundational building blocks of self-care is you got to like yourself. You do. Hey, Eva, how you doing? Good to see you. Glad you're on board. But, you got to like you. Okay. Self-care within itself denotes that I'm taking care of myself. Okay. Now, let me say this, because if you're like me, you have a lot of responsibilities. Like you have responsibility for your family, responsibilities for your work. If you're a business owner, like I am, self-employed entrepreneur, responsibility for your customers, because when they pay you, you got work to do and things like that. So we need people who are like myself or busy executives. We need to make sure we are taking care of ourselves, because the load that we have to be able to manage and interact with all the things we have to do takes a strong mindset, takes a strong person. And so I'm going to give some things for us to consider when it comes to self-care. And I hope that one of them resonates and lands with you. All right. I'm not saying all of these things that you need to do, but ultimately the goal would be that you want to do most of these things. But the reality is, if you can just start with one. Okay. So the first one I want to share with you is really simple. It's really basic, and it doesn't take a comprehensive plan of action to do this. That is simply this: get some sleep. Get some sleep, man. Woman, go to bed. All right. There's nothing better besides a nutritious diet that you can do for your body than give it rest. Because during the time when your body is resting, that's when all of the things that need to take place for it to restore, rebuild, heal, all of that takes place. That's why when doctors think about it, I'm sure how powerful it is. The number one thing that a doctor would tell you when you're sick is to get some rest. Now, we may be thinking that this doctor is just saying this because, just to take it easy and things like that. No, they're saying it because they understand biologically what happens when you rest, when you take it easy. So imagine if you're healthy and you're getting rest, the benefits, if it can benefit you when you're sick. But people still don't pay attention to that. They stay up to 2 or 3 in the morning. They watch Netflix to 1 in the morning and wake up at 5 and wonder why they're so unbalanced, maybe so edgy or irritable, because you have not given your body significant rest. I was sharing with the group a little earlier. I said, I figured for me, I shut it down. I used to be like everybody else. I would be up all times of the night. A lot of times it would just work for me, creating stuff, writing books, all the stuff that I do. Then I start realizing, okay, I'm progressing, but I feel edgy and irritable, having issues with things going on. I said, wait a minute, hold on, time up. I said, forget that. At 10 o'clock at night, I'm in bed. I'm going to bed. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to chill, whatever, but I am going to bed. And if you're a busy executive, I know you have a lot on your plate, but manage your time, prioritize your time. My good friend, Rachel Revel, can help you with that. That's her expertise. Manage your time, but make a part of that time management getting some rest. You can't be always on the grind. I know everybody, all these motivational folks talking about grind and all of that, grind this and grind that. Yeah, you're going to grind yourself to death. What you going to grind? You can't grind 6 feet under, man. You need to get your body some rest. Take it easy, And so when we talk about self-care, one of the things is get some rest, okay? Because that's a gift that you're giving your body when you do. It's a gift. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is going to probably have people throw stuff at me, but it's the reality of it, the truth. And we're just going to share it, put it out there. You need to exercise daily. Now, when I say daily exercise, I mean Monday through Friday, you should be doing something. And don't tell me you don't have enough time. You can make the time. If you got to get up early in the morning, get up another 20 minutes early and do a 20-minute walk. Do a 20 minutes on the treadmill. Do push-ups, do sit-ups, do something. You always have time. That is the number one excuse I find for people who don't want to work out. I don't have time. No, it's not that. It's not you don't have time. It's just you don't want to work out. And nothing to do. Listen, nobody has a busier schedule than mine. But I find an hour just about every day, Monday through Friday, to get my grind in from a workout perspective. I'm in there in that weights, lifting them weights, walking, doing whatever it takes, because I realize that strengthens my body, which in essence strengthens my mind. And so you need to work out, do something, find a routine that works for you. Mine is intense because I've got this bodybuilding dream I'm thinking about. I want to buff up a little bit more. So I'll push it hard, man, even at my age. But for some of us, we're not trying to do all that. We're just trying to be healthy. And so I like about this generation. I'll be honest with you. You see a lot of people working out. Like in my community, you see people walking around here all the time, constantly walking around the community. And so, I mean, again, it could be something that that you're doing. Yeah, you're good. Yep. So that you're doing. Yeah, go ahead. You're good. Yep. And so that you're doing on your own. It could be in partnership with somebody. It could be something you see on like one of those videos where you do it with a video, but the reality of it is when you talk about self-care, it's important to add that to your equation. Okay. Because if not, what happens is it's like the old law of inertia. where it says a body in motion tends to stay in motion until acted upon by an outside force. And so if I'm not putting this body in motion, a lot of outside forces can shut it down very easily. And so the reality of the matter is you want to make sure you have daily exercise. Now, this one gonna really get a lot of bricks thrown at me. Okay. All right. Eat right. I know you write that one down because that's where most folk fall short. People don't eat right. We stop places, we grab fast food, we slopping stuff down, no plan, no pattern, and not knowing that the body, to us, it's something we enjoy. But here's the important thing to understand. To the body, it's fuel. Please keep that in mind. The body is not enjoying that hamburger, you are. But the body is going to try to take that hamburger and say, what can I do to use this to energize myself? So if you put anything in there, then it gives a little, the body don't have nothing. It's like, what are you putting in me? Like, I'll be honest with you. If you ever had an expensive car, if you put regular unleaded into an expensive car, that car gonna spit, make noise. It's gonna say, what in the world you putting into me? It only wants that high octane stuff because that's what it's designed for. So you can say, whatever, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 car is more valuable than $1 billion body. Come on, think about that. Your body is way more valuable than anything you possess. Because if something happens to this, you're done. You're done. You can get a new house, you can get a new car, you can get new anything, but you ain't gonna get no new body. So the reality is, here's the deal: you gotta take care of this thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of it. You really do. You gotta eat right. And so the things that the high octane for the body is vegetables. And so here's the problem. Most people look at vegetables and they think, oh God, lettuce and tomatoes. And they only see it as like one thing, salad. But if you get a good book, a good vegan book, a book that the cook vegan or different recipes, you'll find a lot of that food is really good. Stir frying your meal, onions and tomatoes, man, that right there is like, you can get some cauliflower rice. That's a meal within itself, and it tastes good. But then when you eat that, your body is like saying, yeah, now we rocking and rolling, because you're giving me something that's strengthening me. The vegetables put micronutrients into the body. Those are nutrients that don't really get in through regular foods. So it makes it into the cells and things like that. That's why vegans and vegetarians tend to live longer than everybody else, because their body is getting more things to help the body. So if you're a busy executive, look at ways that you can, eat better. If you got to package it and take it to work with you, don't always go to restaurants because they may not have what you need. But, pack your food, put in and take it. Like I'm telling you, I'm all over it right now. As we speak, I'm doing intermittent fasting right now. So I haven't had anything but I had some probiotics a little bit earlier, and a couple of some nettles tea. I won't eat till 4:00. But when I do, it's going to be veggies. It may be like a fish or something like that. So when I put in, all right, then it's going to be, it's going to be stuff that's going to strengthen my body. So that's a really important thing. All right. I'm only going to give you one more though, because I don't want to take much time with you today. But the next one is to get out and enjoy life. Find a place that you enjoy going to. Find a place that's yours. Like I was sharing earlier, my place, my happy place is the beach. And I'm glad that we have about an hour and a half away. I live in Delaware. There's a beach, Rehoboth Beach and Dewey Beach. You can drive down there. You can watch the sunset, and to me, that's therapeutic. It really is therapeutic to go and just look at the ocean, the way the waves come in, all of that. I can literally sit there for hours and look at that because it just gives me a sense of peace. It gives me a sense of calm. And so what's your happy place? Is it a beach? Is it walking through a park? Is it, what is it? Find your happy place and try to visit that place at least once a week. And it's just you. That's you time. It's you relaxing, you walking, you smelling the air and the breezes and all of that. For some of us, just sitting down and reading a good book, finding a comfortable spot, reading a good book. I don't always have time to drive an hour and a half. So we have a river area about maybe 5 miles from here. Sometimes it's just going there and just, enjoying that scene with the river. And it's a nice walking area. And then we have another place about 15 miles from here in Wilmington, Delaware, the riverfront. And they got a walking and jogging path. And that's nice because it's scenic. I think it's called the Jack Markell Walking Trail. So it's beautiful. So, but it's a nice place to go and get away. And then on top of that, when it comes to enjoy time with your family. Let me tell you something I recently started doing. And it seems like I'm more productive now than I was prior to this. One of the beauties of having a virtual business now, I'm home. I haven't been on a plane since February, which is crazy because I was on planes 3 times a week, flying to keynote at this conference, speak at this event, work with this customer. Now I sit right here like I'm talking to you, and I do all my business right here. This is where my business takes place. So I decided, you know what? I'm shutting it down at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, I'm shutting it down. Why? I got 4 kids, and one's 10, one's 17, one's 22, and one's 18. She's in college now. And the reality of the matter is I'm spending time with them. You know what I mean? I take my son, he goes to boxing. He's doing his boxing class. I take him to class. My baby girl, I don't know, all of a sudden starting to like basketball. So we have a little rim out front and shoot some hoops with her. My older son is, he graduated, but things got crazy because of COVID. So he's graduated from one of the top art schools in the United States of America, right? This kid is phenomenal. One of the few young African-American illustrators to graduate from a top 2 school. And so, things have been crazy with the work. So he's created a project called the Superhero Project that we're going to be working on. So I'm working with him because he's about to blow up with this thing. And if you work with youth, you need to reach out for me on that one because this thing is going to be powerful. We've already done it before. We started some years ago, but he's now put it into a powerful system. And I'm not going to tell you what it all is, but trust me, it's worth it for your young people. But I take time to work with him on that. And we've already got the webpage, we got it all going now. And so I get time to spend with my team. And you know what? That's therapeutic. You know what I mean? Because I believe, honestly, I have a lot of guilt sometimes, but all the travel I had to do over the years. But now I get to redeem it a little bit and spend time with my family. So, and that's a sense of balance. I'm gonna say this is one of the calmest times in my life I've ever had. Enjoying time with my wife, enjoying time with my kids, enjoying work, enjoying doing these virtual programs, but it's all intentional. So you need to be intentional for your self-care. So as I always say, share this information with someone. Don't just keep it for yourself. Share this with people could benefit from it. You can always take this video. I think you even download these things. Share it with people at work. Share it with your boss and tell them, hey, coach teaches on this stuff. And maybe we can come in and train your staff and teams around these things. Because right now with COVID, man, folks are dealing with a lot of mental angst and things like that. And, and I'll tell you something, it's so important right now in the midst of COVID-19 to be dealing with this. Now, I have to pause for a moment because this young lady, Leonie, how you going to say inspirational, awesome stuff? This girl's like a daughter to me. How you doing, my love? It's so good to hear from you. For y'all that don't know, Leonie is from South Africa, and she stayed with us for about a year. And just an amazing young lady, and now a mom and, wife and doing all kinds of things. So thank you for jumping on here, Leonie. It's so good to see you. And you can't be putting those statements up, though. You got to say, hey, Coach D, hey, Dad, say, hey, somebody. And it's so really good to hear from you. I hope you and the children are doing great. And we love you here. And Sophia's off to college. Leonie, you'd be so proud of her. She goes to amazing school and a global scholar. Sophia's amazing, Leonie. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm talking Leonie right now because Leonie spent a lot of time with Sophia when she was a little baby, 1 and 2 years old. And so now you'll be amazed, Leonie, what she's doing today. And Daryl's a college graduate now, so times have moved on. So anyway, so just want to share this with you. But listen, don't keep it a secret. People like me get to do what I do when people like you tell others about us. So share it with your boss, share it with your coworkers. Say, hey, man, we need this guy to get this guy in to do some training for us. We do training around equity and inclusion. We do training around team building, training around these type of things, self-care, living in a digital age and being productive in a digital age. Share our information with other people because in my work, I don't do a lot of, thank you too, Leon. It's so good to see you, honey. And and just we share so many share with others, because that's how we get the word out. So if you have any questions, check us out. Let me see if I can get my website in here. If you want to, is that's our website, coachdspeaks.com. All right, I think I can put the www dot in there. Yeah, you put this in there, coachdspeaks.com. That's the website. And check it out. Take a look at what we're doing. Thank you all for your complimentary thoughts here. But I do this. I try to do it every day. It's not always that easy, and I got to get a certain time frame down. I'm thinking maybe around 1 every day I'm going to do this, because I just I got so much going on. But thank you all so much. I appreciate it, and definitely go out there and take care of yourself, because most people spend a lot of time taking care of others. Very few people understand it takes taking care of you so that you can effectively take care of others. All right. Take care now. Bye-bye.